Change screen requested. Okay, so now we have that, and that's an event handler. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and close that. We want to maximize space we've got for our code. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to say, right, I can say change screen requested dot invoke, and I can pass it an event args. Raising zoom an event that provides data. Okay, let's take a quick look at that. Can I please hide the damn additional resources? I don't care about them. I care about the data you've given me. Microsoft, can I? You don't play well with having less than all the damn screen. Okay, so here we go. Right, on threshold reached, args. And so there we go. What we're going to say here is, right. All right, let me take a quick look here. Yeah. So see threshold reached, and then it reaches, gets the args there. Okay, so it has a class threshold reached event args, which extends event args. All right. So let's go ahead and just public class change screen event args extends event args. I'm using a nested class so that I don't have to have yet another top level class lying around. Okay, and now what I just want to do here is, if we're changing screen, there's two things that we need. One of them is type yeah, type target screen get set. Okay, and then and also yeah, public type target screen get set. And that should be capital T because name suggestions. Yep. Public required type target screen, and public action. Yeah, one of these is an action on game screen. Setup get set. Okay. So there we are. Now we have an event args that has a target screen and a setup, and the setup is optional-ish. Okay. So given that, when somebody wants to invoke change screen requested, so I'm going to get rid of the change screen event handler thing there. Okay. Must contain a non-null value when. Okay, nope. I guess it's a nullable event. Oh no, public event handler. Okay, cool. Change screen requested. All right. So now what we can do here is we can say, right. So, okay, so we construct the args object and then we set its data. And then, okay, so what we actually want to do here, those can be, yeah, those are get init. Those are one-time constructions. So when we set one of those up and we want to say that we are invoking that, so that's game screen. This is game, which is not the one we want yet. All right, I want puzzle canvas here. Let's pop this over to here. We're going to work with it. So here we are. Change scene 2, which is part of game screen. So when game screen calls change scene 2, we're going to say, args is going to be change screen. Yeah. Change screen event args equals new, and it needs some properties. It's going to need target screen equals target type. And we no longer need to just go get a name there. That's actually going to be somewhat helpful. And then setup equals setup. Okay, so we construct the args object, and now we instead, with that args object, we can just say, right, on threshold, so that's there. Interesting. I'm looking at how they built that. Okay. I don't need to split that across two methods, I think. We're just going to say event handler on change screen event args handler equals, and that handler is going to be change screen requested. Which cannot implicitly convert that type. Yup. Okay. Actually, I'm going to clear that nullability off there. I know it's yelling, but I don't think it's a valid yell. But okay. Handler equals change screen requested. Okay. And if handler does not equal null, we're going to call that. So is that really just... change screen requested this comma args? And right, event, and the change screen request should be in, can it just be an event handler on, yeah, on change screen event args? Yes, because yeah, we it actually is that type. That's part of what we had there. So change screen requested. Okay. And then, right, what we just want to say here is if change screen requested is not null, then change screen requested this args. Great. Okay, so now change screen request is going to get invoked. It has a slightly different contract than it had before. And now back here in game, we have on change scene to, we're going to say, yeah, on change scene requested. And instead of taking string target, it's going to take game screen dot change screen event args. All right. And we're going to just begin by saying type, var type equals args dot target screen, which is going to be, actually, let's just say, yeah, type equals args dot target screen. Okay, so now we have the type, and that's going to pass right through there, all of that. Okay. Then the challenge here we had, yeah, change screen requested minus equals on change scene requested. No overload for on change scene requested matches delegate event handler game screen change screen event args. Okay. I got to look at what that the delegate thing there is. Oh, so object sender comma. Okay, let me just see if that's, yeah. Yep. So on change screen requested, it does that instead. It has a sender. Oh, so yeah, it even knows who requested the change scene. That's actually kind of helpful. Okay. So then we do that. And now, yeah, MySQL change scene requested. Nullability doesn't necessarily match. That's fine for now. And then again here, change scene requested plus equals on change scene requested. Oh, and types of parameter sender doesn't match. Okay. Is this object question mark sender then? Does it like that better? It likes that better. That object might not be present. And since we don't care about it, I don't really care if that matches up nicely. Okay, so then we can change the scene. Okay, so now we have that change scene, but now we have this other thing we can do, which is as we do the change scene, um, and we rewire things, we have the next question here of if args dot setup is action, and let's go look at the type of args dot setup there. Where are you? You're in here somewhere. Oh yeah, is action on game screen. So if we have a setup action, then what we just need to do is we need to call setup action on screen. And that's it. We just need to invoke whatever method we were given so that if somebody does need to do setup, they can do it. Because the puzzle select menu, when we kick into a puzzle, needs that. So let's go back. We'll look at puzzle canvas first. Puzzle canvas is perfectly happy. It just says change scene to type of puzzle select menu. But over here, what this guy needs is it's going to say change scene to type of puzzle, not puzzle select menu, type of puzzle canvas, comma. And now what this thing needs, this thing gets itself a delegate function. So we just get to throw ourselves a little lambda here, and we're going to say puzzle canvas goes to method. And now here, there's some things we need to do with puzzle canvas. We need to give it some session settings. Use expression bodied lambda. Oh, yeah. Right. Right, and what we're going to say here, yeah, this is type of puzzle canvas. But this thing is not necessarily a puzzle canvas, it's just a game screen. So what we want to do is we're going to immediately cast puzzle canvas into a game screen. So we're going to take this screen. All right, and then if screen is puzzle canvas, now we can do some things with that puzzle canvas. We can say that its session settings are equal to settings. Okay, I think we're mostly done with that other screen there. Okay, and then what else does it need? We need to also do puzzle canvas load puzzle. And that's it. Now all of this stuff can go away. And we have, oh, and now this whole thing here on start puzzle becomes an expression body. Okay, so on start puzzle, we change the scene to a puzzle canvas, and then we hand it this new method, which it's gonna invoke, and we semicolon at the end of all of that, and we let it reformat the document a little. There we go. Okay, so on start puzzle is now nice and clear. So it's going to do that. Yeah. Let me just see how far over the line. Oh, that isn't over the line at all. I think I made my text maybe one notch too big for this. There we go. Okay, so now when we start the puzzle, it will change the scene with all the work it does. Okay, great. Next, over here. That doesn't, yeah, that thing isn't needed. Okay. Game here. So this is still, okay, on change scene to, right, no longer exists. We can instead say on change scene requested this, comma, and we just need to say starting scene. Because starting scene should be a type, and on change scene requested should now, oh, right, it takes change screen event args. format that. Okay, so on-chain scene requested, and we hand it some brand new args. Okay. Great. I hope this works. I really hope this works because we've done a whole lot of very, very fiddly type stuff. This is exactly the kind of thing that might just all explode. And I couldn't really test it until all of it was done because of the nature of compilation. So let's find out if it works. If this works, it does nothing. It changes nothing about the code except some things don't know about each other anymore that knew about each other before. Okay, the fact that it's being slow is good. That means it's probably loading up the start screen, which is one of the ways it could fail, is by not loading up our starting scene. This looks like not loading up our starting scene. Well, let's go take a look at remote. We have a game. It has settings persistence. It has a sound manager. Oh, right. The game is going to load all the puzzles. But the debugger. Here we go. Whoop. Hey, debugger. What freaked out? System.argument exception. Instantiate doesn't return a game screen. Well, what does it return? All right. We're going to restart the app, and then we're going to look in our debug stuff and figure out what happened. Again, this is why we put a whole bunch of safeties in place, so that at least when things fail, they fail informatively. Hello, informative failure. All right, back here. All right, it's a Brain Better Puzzle Controls Puzzle Select menu. All right, but Puzzle Select menu is supposed to be a child of game screen. Okay. So that is the correct thing, but I thought his instance of type was going to do that. If current type is in the inheritance hierarchy of the object represented by O, or the current type is an interface that O implements. Let's go take a quick look at the type documentation here. Back to the C# documentation. All right. Actually, do I still have type open here somewhere? System reflection method info. Oh, there we are. Type. Okay. I don't need a type handle. I just want to type. Okay. So what I want here, we're going to get ourselves the return type of the method, and that gets us a type. And what I want to know is whether that type is basically I want to know if it is a child of the type that we want here. Get the type from which the current type directly inherits. Declaring method, declaring type, generic parameter attributes, generic type arguments, default binder. Is import, is interface, is not public, is public, is Okay, the one that we were trying to use was is instance of type. Which I'm not even seeing here. That's a little weird. Okay, oh no, that's a method info.return type. Okay. Right. Fine. Okay, so here's method info.return type, which the type, no, that's a type. And then type dot is instance of type. Okay, yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, that's. Oh yeah. I guess. I just can't do alphabetical order. Okay. Instance of the current type. So int is our instance of array is base one instance of base class. That should work. Yeah, derived one. A derived class is an instance of the base class. That's what I'm expecting. So why does it say that puzzle select menu is not an instance of game screen? Oh, wait a minute. I have a terrible fear. Hang on. Let me look back at that example again. Is array is instance of type. Interface type is yeah. All right. Is derived one instance of yep, they go in the other order. We need if not type of game stream dot is instance of type method return type. There's our problem. All right, so now let's go back to Godot. Let's run it again, and let's hope it doesn't crash there this time. Well, not really crash, just fail to load. Okay, we still had some failure to load. Was it the same thing? Instantiate doesn't return a game screen. Okay. I'm going to comment this out for a moment because it appears that the test is what we think it is. So I want to see what happens maybe when we just try to invoke that thing as a game screen, and we'll find out what we get. Because the next line will still tell us if it's a game screen, because we're going to try to invoke it and take the thing that we get back and interpret it as a game screen. So let's see if that works. That is, the ultimate in duck typing tests. We try to use it. Can we use the thing we get? Also, thank you for the follow. I'm going to guess that's probably Shinigami. All right. Welcome to this lovely programming stream where we program and stream. Okay. So something blew up. System.argument exception. Instantiate doesn't return a game screen. So whatever we've got there cannot be interpreted as a game scroll. Hang on a second. Save. I need to go briefly look. No, that is the code for that thing. That thing should be. Oh, I guess we're not using link here anymore. Great, but that should be the code. Okay. What I want to know is what is the thing I got back. So let's see here. Instead of game screen is that. What we just want to do here is I'm just going to say equals. So var result equals method.invoke null null. Remove the as game screen. We don't know what this thing is. All right. And then okay. And that's going to be result as game screen. All right. gd.print result. What are you? What do you get when we invoke that method? Hmm. Hey, evening, Roman Ump. We are doing reflection. We're in hell. The what with the who now? The thing about reflection is that you basically you're trading away all your compile time guarantees. You're starting to play with the system as though it's runtime only. But that worked. Why did that work? Okay. It's a control. Okay. And then we were able to cast it into a game screen. Sure. All right. Fine. Oh yeah, I mean reflection as in the software concept, not the geometric concept. Yeah. Reflection, the geometric concept, is lovely. Okay. So there we go. So now that all works, and if we come back over to the game, the question is, odds of this working are low. That worked more than I thought it would, but less than I needed it to. That worked actually substantially more than I thought it would. We went into the scene. Close the puzzle, we go back, we come back here. We open up another puzzle, we start it. Yep. Okay. Some of the setup is not occurring, but, and this is pretty good, we are in fact transitioning scenes using the new model. Okay. Because we have just thoroughly replaced how we transition scenes. We'll go ahead and close the game. Shateri, which problem is that comment regarding? You think there's some weird precedence thing going on? The reason why the thing didn't appear, or the reason why we can't do the return type checking thing? And in the meantime, let's go take a quick look as we come into Puzzle Canvas. So Puzzle Select menu invokes this thing. The latter. Why splitting two statements works when the single doesn't. Yeah. I should check whether the single works again in a moment, but for right now, what I want to understand right here. So thing one, gd.print in the setup action. Thing two, gd.print screen. Because the two questions we have here right now are, do we actually invoke the setup action, which would be one reason that the setup action doesn't occur? And the other one would be, is screen the thing we want it to be? Rebuild, rerun, let's see what occurs. Takes a few moments to set up, but okay. So this happens, we do this, we hit start the puzzle. So setup fails, but in the setup action, we have that control. Okay. So if screen is puzzle canvas, Huh. I've just got an idea here. Um, let's try that. I'm just wondering whether the is actually giving me trouble here, and that part of what helped me with the other one was moving from an is check to a as cast. I mean, you'd think that is supposed to test whether a cast is possible, but you know what? We are deep in messy reflection land. So okay, all right. What do we get now? Nope. In the setup action, we still get that control. All right. So that's screen. Then, am I having Inception? Maybe. All right. So here we go. We are now, the goal here, so the key thing we've got going on here is this particular scene needs to, once it's set up, the thing that invoked it needs to get a chance to run some setup code to tell it to do some things. The problem we're having here is, for whatever reason, the typing isn't coming out for it to think that the thing it's got is a puzzle canvas. So, brain better puzzle. Wait. Or no, wait, hang on. Wrong scene. Yeah, brain better puzzle controls, puzzle canvas. Yep, you are the thing. Okay. So we get the screen, which comes in as a game screen. Okay. Save. We're going to try this again here. And okay. Run. I mean, because a puzzle canvas is a control in a sense, but it should also be a puzzle canvas. I should be able to treat it as a puzzle canvas. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It's still there. It's not null. Okay, if puzzle canvas is not null, hang on here a second then. In that case, hold on. gd.print in the if. Remember that thing where I talk about this a lot, where sometimes you should test the thing that you are certain is true, like, oh, we're just not getting into the if. I think we're getting into the if. I think that somehow the if is not doing the things I expect it to do. Okay. Start the puzzle. Yeah, we're in the if just fine. This was all, everything we did there was a red herring. We're going to back it out. Yeah, if screen is puzzle canvas, we end up in that if. All right, so gd.print in the if. Settings equals settings. Puzzle equals puzzle. You're going to try to do some things, and I want to make sure that they are both sensible things that are there. All right. Back here, run. Okay. Come on. Here we go. Galaxy of Horrors. Puzzle. Puzzle. Okay, what's the... In the if settings has a resource. Puzzle has a resource. They are separate entities, as expected. So... Wait a minute. Puzzle canvas.load puzzle. We need to call this before adding the puzzle canvas to the tree. I see it's right there in my comments. Let me take a quick look at our setup process here. So we say that we're going to do this all. We say in game, we're about to do the thing. Yep, we changed the scene first. This is the problem. We want to do the setup action. Setup will be called before we put it in the tree, because this thing needs that to be, and other stuff should be fine with setup being called before it goes into the tree. The entire problem may have just been that I was calling this at the wrong time for a constraint that I'm the one who wrote. I'm the one who wrote the constraint that you have to load puzzle before it goes into the tree, because otherwise everything goes to hell. Thanks, me. I love me. Let's try this again. That's a puzzle. And it works. There we go. Pieces are joining. The entire problem was me having that sequencing wrong. Okay. Let's clean this up and get it committed. All right. Yeah, to be clear, that was past me, and past me clearly doesn't know what they were doing. It's true. Me of 20 minutes ago, idiot. Who is that fool? Me of right now, brilliant. Not going to make any mistakes except for the ones I'm definitely making right now. Okay. Dang. Oh, all right. That is amusing, and yeah. Okay, change. So we've got that. This stuff's here. So now just want to think here for a moment. Right. Let's go look at our source control. There's a bunch of stuff in source control that actually this will probably be easier to do if we use this thing. Okay. So game CS has been moved from its old location to a new location. And we've given it this new change scene. Right, change scene 2 has become private. On change scene requested is here. On change scene requested is also here. So we set up the starting scene now as just a type of the puzzle select menu. Okay. And right, current scene is the game scene. We changed basically nothing about that. We just moved it. Game screen. Right, changes endings from CRLF to LF because GitHub's going to do the correct thing there. So now a game screen, we note it must provide, and the compiler cannot coerce it to provide, a static zero-arg instantiate method that returns an instance. That's what the reflection is for. There is no way to force a type to contain a static method. This is the thing like that we had to research. That's where all the reflection came in, because we want that method to be there. Then in main, we've changed it to that thing lives there. Then puzzle canvas is now a game screen. Puzzle canvas has a file name for where it lives. And actually, you know what here, though? I kind of like part of the old way we did this. Yeah, I prefer this. So what we're going to do is, if I look at puzzle canvas here, right, return to main menu needs to be kept. Um, okay, what I want to do is take this portion of the file and revert just this change. So I want to just, yeah, uncheck those two things there. Um, yep. And now only part of that file is going to get committed. Though I do, actually, no, I do need this change. The change that adds game screen. Yeah. And then if we look over here, got the same thing here. And I actually want to use the same pattern from the other one. So again, what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and let me see, what changes do we have? Yeah, we don't have any staged versus unstaged changes here. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's stage the removals. Yeah, that's one thing, is the GitHub thing sometimes doesn't actually work with the staging. So here we have, nope, game.cs is good, main.cs, game.scene. So game screen is actually mostly fine, but I think I'm actually going to remove the instantiate thing that it does. I don't actually think that's helpful. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Save that to game screen. Actually here, yeah. And what are you? Non-nullable event must contain a non-null. I don't know why it's doing weird nullability stuff there. Because making it nullable causes issues. That's fine though. I'm just gonna, yeah, save that, close that. Game screen now goes in. Now puzzle canvas is gonna be slightly broken. So here we go. What I want to do now is in the working tree. Can I see this in split view? All right. No, actually, we keep that. I want to revert this change. Yep. So there's that part of the change now. Scene path stays the way it did. It has a packed scene in it for scene, and instantiate will load the scene and then return that. Great. So it's the thing that knows how to instantiate itself. Now, what I also want to do is that's puzzle canvas. So now we can go ahead and tack puzzle canvas in there. But then puzzle select menu, I want to do the same thing to it. So we've got puzzle canvas there with the new old pattern. Here's puzzle select menu. Let's go ahead and give it the same new old pattern. So again, I'm going to go with private const string scene path instead of the previous Z, C, V. And then this thing here. So again, it can do the caching instantiation that we can't do at the static level of the other one. And here we are. It's going to return a puzzle select menu, instantiate, and we're going to scene instantiate puzzle select menu from its path. All right, we save that. We tag that in. Before we commit all that, we go back over here. We do a rebuild, and we test that it works. Okay. So here we go. All right, we also have that that debug statement that I want to clear. So let's run. Godot, Godot, Godot. Okay. Also, welcome, Boss Gans. Thanks for the follow. If it's not obvious for folks who came for the Advent of Code, I finished the Advent of Code puzzle earlier thing, though I will be streaming. My plan for the rest of the month is basically I code stream 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe some other times if I feel like it, but I'm going to be starting my streams off by doing whatever Advent of Code problems I haven't done yet, and then moving on to working on my project until I run out of time. Except my weekend streams, I play video games on the weekends. So You'll see me playing puzzle games on the weekend because I deserve a break from coding too. All right, so we start the puzzle. Okay, good. Everything still worked. Close that. And we still got that extra in the if stuff. So let's just go ahead and, yep, there it is. Remove the unneeded debug statements. Okay. So when we start a puzzle, we will do that setup. We're going to add that to our commit. And here we go. Yeah. Handle screen selection via event bubbling. Turned out not to be as trivial as initially seemed because we need to register listeners and we need to actually, hang on, Control A, Control X. I have those. This editor makes it easier to write stuff. Handle scene changes via events because they don't really bubble. Apparently, only UI events bubble in this environment. So here we are. This turned out to be a scene because we need to register listeners and we need a way to We also need to be able to perform setup on the target scene for the important case of selecting what puzzle to start. I think the solution has an elegant API, though the under the hood details are gnarly. All right, hang on. At this point, just everything there. Yep, everything there, everything there. All right. And now, commit. Okay. We'll push that up to the origin. And okay. So I don't want to, even though I have an approval with oh yeah, just make this one little change. That little change turned out to be not so little. So I'm not going to merge this one based on the previous approval. I am instead going to go over to GitHub, view on GitHub. We're going to go into that pull request, back to root scene. All right. And poke the reviewer because there's no reason for him to know that a thing that he already reviewed needs reviewing. All right. So that takes us to 420. I mean, this is a pretty good spot, I think. It's a little bit earlier than I usually stop, but I feel like we have reached the end of a logical unit of work. The next big thing I need to do is going to be a big thing. So little sense what we've got going on here. we've got a couple branches. So this was the root scene branch, which has been floating. We started off earlier after the advent of code stuff. We merged in a branch, the branch that does highlighting, into main, and that's lovely. That's been floating for a while. But then I've been doing a lot of work in this other branch, perf tracing, where I found some performance problems and then I began working on them. This branch is a nightmare. It's a mess. It's got some great stuff in it. It's also got a whole lot of exploration, and at this point, it is no longer close to main. So I've got stuff in that branch that needs to land, which means I think one of the things that we're going to be doing with that branch is we're going to be looking at what's in it and then figuring out if we can cherry pick particular commits or particular files and get some of them to land in main so that we can continue to make headway on that. But I don't think that's what I'm going to do right this moment. I think I'm going to come back Friday, 1 o'clock. I will be back to do more streaming. I'll be back then doing probably tomorrow, tonight's and tomorrow night's Advent of Code, unless I decide for some reason to code, to hop on tomorrow briefly and do an Advent of Code. I did that last night. It was fun, but probably I'll do them on my usual stream days. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So if you want to follow along with Advent of Code stuff or any of that, we maintain some of the info on the chat on our Discord. It's, one of them Discords for a small streamer. There's people there. We chat about things. We talk about programming. And mostly you get to find out when I'm streaming and when a couple of my friends are streaming. Other than that, yeah, I'll be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. And for now, I'm going to go relax and not try to get thorny, reflective code to land. See y'all later, friends. Bye for now.